Today, I am going to teach you how to deal with an emotion. So, at the weekend, I heard of some really sad news. And I think when people start to hear what I teach, when people start to learn that their thoughts create their feelings, they then think that they're going to feel happy and positive all of the time. And that simply is not the case. I don't believe we should be happy and positive all of the time. At all, actually. Because when you hear about some what you perceive to be sad news, your brain is going to give you thoughts that can create a negative emotion. That is the human experience. You can't have one without the other. So you can't have positive thoughts if you don't experience negative. You can't have positive emotions if you haven't experienced negative. So like that is the 50-50 of life. We are designed as humans to have a full range of emotions, and it's only us that then interpret them as positive or negative, when actually it's just a sensation in your body. So you can apply what I'm about to go through with you for any emotion in your life: anger, frustration, grief, anxiety, fear, sadness, the urge for sugar, or that craving that you have to, or that urge you have to do something. Even if you sometimes struggle with the positive emotions, like if you push away love or you push away excitement, this process will help you. And it's really simple. Now, if you're not used to doing this sort of thing, or if you're quite analytical, so you're very much up in your head, this might feel a little bit weird for you, but please stay with me, because the more you practice this, the easier and clearer it will become for you. And I can remember the first time I did this with my husband, he was like, "What are you talking about?" So I want you to pick an emotion. Excuse me, I'm just gonna have a drink. I want you to pick an emotion that maybe you struggle with. And I just want you for a moment to come out of your head, out of your logical brain and all that society has told you, and come down into your body. So I'll explain a number of different emotions and how I feel them. Um, and you just do this along with me. So I'm going to go with anger first of all. When I feel angry, the first thing we want to do is go, where in my body do I feel this anger? And for me, I feel anger in my diaphragm and in my cheeks. Like I feel like a sensation in my cheeks. And then ask yourself, is it a hot or is it a cold sensation? And for me, anger's hot. And then ask yourself, is it fast or is it slow? Well, anger for me is fast. Um, is it heavy or is it light? And actually, anger for me is quite a light. It feels quite a light sensation. And then does it have a color? Yes. For me, anger is definitely red. So these are the questions that will help you to deal with your emotions. And by deal with, I mean process. And if you look at the word emotion, it has motion in it. The word motion, to move. Our emotions are designed to move through us. They are not designed to be stopped, held down, put in a box, on the shelf, never to be felt again. That is not how emotions go. If you are locking it away, closing the cupboard door, not looking at it, that emotion will stay with you. It stays with you, and it will have a ripple effect on how you show up in your life. But when you go through the awareness that I just took you through, it releases, it moves, emotion, it motions it through, it moves it through your body, and it releases you. That is a really healthy way of feeling and processing our emotions. Now, if it's something that feels really uncomfortable, and I think grief for a lot of people is a very uncomfortable emotion to experience. When you feel it, so for me, grief is, it's in my heart, but it kind of starts in my stomach, and it bubbles up, and it bubbles up, and it gets to here, and I feel like I just want to push it back down again. And that's when you're able to breathe, and you're able to tell yourself you're safe, and you're able to allow the grief to come up and out. And it might look like snot bubbles. It might look like bending over. It might look like just sobbing. That's healthy. That is a healthy processing of emotion. Locking it up, pushing it down, putting it on the shelf is avoidance. And it's not healthy. It will have a physical impact on your body at some point. So I do this as well with sugar cravings, right? So when the chocolate's in front of you, you might be wine, cheese, porn. For some people, it's exercise, cleaning. Anything that you do to avoid an emotion, you're going to get an urge. Like if you think it's going to make you feel better, you have an urge to do it. And so for me, sugar feels like if there's chocolate in front of me and my brain starts to go, oh my God, that'd be amazing. And I feel the urge to want to eat it, or the craving to eat it. I have this like silver buzzing at the top of my arms. This is where I experience the craving for sugar. It's a very fast, quite heavy sensation, actually. So I feel it at the top of my arms here. It's heavy, it's fast, and it's silver. So I have now described the emotion of craving or urge. Same thing. So when I notice it, I'm able to move it through the motion, the emotion. I'm able to move it through my body so that it releases and disappears. And after, like research says that our emotions only last for about 90 seconds and then they disappear. And they only last for 90 seconds when we're actually allowing them to move. Now, when you have the thought again that created that emotion, of course, that emotion is going to come back, and you just process it again, and you process it again until you learn that that is not a problem. That emotion is not a problem. And so many people think that, oh, if they start to feel sad, they're never going to feel happy again, as if they're going to go down this deep hole and never come back out. And that just simply isn't the case. The reason we go down that hole is because we're trying to resist the emotion, or we're wallowing in the emotion, which is completely different. When you are very conscious and deliberate about thinking, this is how I want to feel right now. I want to feel sad. I want to feel grief. I want to feel horrified. I want to feel angry. And giving yourself permission to feel that, even the craving for chocolate. I want to have the craving for chocolate. Own it. You don't have to follow through with it. You don't have to then go and eat the chocolate. You don't have to go and punch someone in the face. But you can own it, feel it, and then very deliberately, very consciously allow it to go without being frightened of it. And I do consider myself to be a bit of a badass when it comes to experiencing my emotions. I do have the capacity, because I've practiced, to feel an overwhelming sense of love and gratitude. Like it feels like it's just going to swallow me up and suck me away. And I'm able to experience the grief and the sadness and allow myself to feel those emotions, realize they're not a problem, and allow myself to cry if I need to, allow myself to smile a huge beam and laugh if I need to. And it's because I've expanded my capacity to feel my negative emotions, I've also expanded my capacity to feel positive ones. And this is a skill that you get to learn as well. So please save this recording. Please save this clip. And whenever you're struggling with an emotion that you can feel yourself resisting it, and you know you don't want to resist it, really, you want to process it, come back to this point, and with me, answer these questions. First of all, take a deep breath. Okay. Where in your body do you feel this emotion? Is it hot or is it cold? Is it fast or is it slow? And what color is it? Now just sit with that emotion. Breathe again. You are safe to experience it. If you know anybody else that needs to hear this today, please forward this on to them. Make sure you subscribe so you hear my future teachings. Have a wonderful, loving, blessed week. Bye.